looks like. But as we heat up this afternoon, we're close enough to that front in southern Indiana, notice, that we will have a chance for some pop-up downpours. So this is the image at 2 p.m. today. Now this is not going to be perfect, but it just shows you the nature of what we could have across the area. Hit or miss, splash and dash variety of a few showers and thunderstorms out there. Not expecting severe weather with this. Oops, let me bring back up our view here. Let me go ahead and reload this. I think I went into outer space and upside down. Where are we at in the world? Here, let me bring that down, and we're going to bring it back up here. All right. Wouldn't that beautiful? Wouldn't that be nice? Look at that screensaver right there. All right, so we're going to bring it back up our future. Whether I don't know what button I pressed, but it was not happy with that. All right, so here we are at 2 p.m. We are still with the HER weather model data. And looking ahead to 3 o'clock, there you can see most of the activity is in Indiana. And the reason for that, as we go back to full screen and we do a little illustration here, that front is hung up to the north over central Ohio, Indiana, and southern Illinois. If you're drawing a stationary front, the cold front barbs are on the south side, the warm front barbs are on the north side, so it looks like that. So southern Indiana closer to the front, that gives southern Indiana a better chance for some pop-up downpours. And Kentucky, while there is a chance for a shower this afternoon, ends up on the drier side of things. So that is this afternoon's view right there. And we'll move ahead to, here's 4 o'clock and then 5 o'clock. So that once again, southern Indiana, the best chance of the downpours today. Take this into the evening time. We are still dodging occasional showers and thunderstorms. And this could be, you know, with the humidity that we have out there and this kind of summer-like feel, this could be fairly kind of tropical downpours and put down some, you know, locally brief heavy rainfall and some rumbles of thunder. Again, low severe weather threat with any of this activity. Marcelyn Wilson, good morning to you. Thanks for popping in a comment on our Bennett 10 here on our June 5th, Thursday edition. We're looking through the weather models here, and then we'll get back to the forecast and back to a live radar here in just a few minutes. So now we're at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. So even around and just after sunset, there's still a chance for a few of these showers and thunderstorms. And now it might make for a kind of a nice sunset when you have those billowing, tall cumulus clouds. We call those towering cumulus clouds. If we have those around sunset, sometimes you can get some nice crepuscular rays. Crepuscular meaning around sunrise, sunset, and the sun rays kind of going around some of those towering cumulus clouds. Might happen, might not. We'll see. Sometimes this kind of isolated pop-up downpour activity can make some nice sunsets. So we'll see about that. So that's 10 p.m. Here's 11 p.m. After we lose some of that daytime heating, we're going to be in the low mid 80s today. Notice as we head through the overnight hours that things begin to settle down. And this is going to take us into, I'm going to go into the 48-hour high resolution rapid refresh weather model. I'm going to start off here around sunrise tomorrow morning. Most areas will be dry. This is going into 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So maybe can't rule out a shower, but it's driest tomorrow morning into the early afternoon. What we'll be waiting on is this big blob right there. Now that looks big, bad, and angry. It could have some isolated damaging wind gusts, but this is, as we bring this up full screen, how about that? That is your 4 p.m. on your Friday. So this is getting some extra energy from the mid-levels. Vort max is what we call that, up at around 18,000 feet or so. So you've got extra energy to kick up some of these showers and thunderstorms riding along that stationary front. So some pounding rainfall, some blinding rain will be possible, lightning, thunder, and some isolated damaging wind gusts. The tornado threat isn't 0%, but it's going to be a low chance of that. And maybe some hail mixed in with that as well. So where is that? What is that? That is our most widespread chance of showers and thunderstorms developing late tomorrow afternoon. That is a snapshot there at 4 p.m. So there you can see that stretches all the way down towards Bowling Green and down towards Nashville as well. Now moving ahead in time, so now we're heading towards like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So you've got maybe some activities on your Friday evening. Perhaps, again, we've got U of L playing tomorrow at 3 p.m. We've got Racing Loose soccer at 7:30 tomorrow. Bats baseball taking on the Norfolk Tides. So there's things going on. So we're just going to have to do our best to do that storm dodge tomorrow evening. That is at 6 p.m. on your Friday. Moving ahead, later in the evening, once we get that round out of here, then we're looking at mostly dry conditions. So not a washout tomorrow. I think we got plenty of dry time in the morning and the early afternoon. Late afternoon, early evening is kind of the timing of this round of some showers and thunderstorms. Looks very similar for Saturday as well, by the way. Now, I am going to load up, so that was the HRRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh Weather Model, the HRRR weather model. Now we're going to do the NAM 3 kilometer. It is also a high resolution weather model, so this is going to take us through today and much of tomorrow. So this here picking up decently on the rain that we have. It's not picking up very well on the rain out in western Kentucky. That's time 0 now. As we head into the afternoon hours, it shows some dry time and some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. And we have Jeanette Pierce tuning in. Stay safe today. Good morning to you. Thanks for watching here, Jeanette. All right, so this is, we're up to now 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. So it's kind of similar to what we saw with the HRRR weather model. Plenty of space between these pop-up showers and thunderstorms for today. And as we go towards sunset, can't rule out that shower lingering around the area through later on this evening. This is around 9-10 p.m. I'm going to bust this forward to 2 o'clock in the morning and notice still can't rule out an isolated shower for tonight. And going into our 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So we've got this front, the stationary front, still hung up over the area. I do think, again, tomorrow morning, early afternoon is the driest part of our Friday. There you can see plenty of dry area at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now this is going into 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And watch out west. What is happening there? It is also picking up on that short wave, that Vort Max. You can Google these terms if you want. That's about 18,000 feet. We're getting this wave of energy moving along that stationary front, heading our direction. So the HRRR weather model at 4 o'clock had it over the top of us. This one has it just a tad bit later. So this is around 6 o'clock tomorrow, and then we'll head to 7 o'clock tomorrow. So very similar timing with the two high-resolution weather models, giving us this more widespread area of rain and some thunderstorms and the possibility of a few strong to severe thunderstorms late tomorrow afternoon into the early evening hours. So this is your Friday, 7 p.m. on your June the 6th. So there you go. Now we're going to move out. This batch moves on through later in the evening, say after sunset. Maybe we have a kind of a break again for later on Friday night. But now we're going to need to switch into, this keeps some rain around late Friday night, this model, by the way. And now we're at the very end of it, 48 hours out on the NAM 3 kilometer. Let me bring up the regular old NAM. It's not quite as high resolution, but it will take us into Saturday morning. So this is June 7th, Saturday morning, and notice some dry weather. But also, we've got another shortwave. We've got another one working our direction, so it's just like Friday, and the timing looks pretty similar. We're watching that wave right there. And let's advance. We go to 5 o'clock and then 8 o'clock. So time will tell when the next wave actually moves in Saturday, but right now it looks like late day into the evening time. First half of Friday and Saturday look like the driest time periods, and then the last half of Friday and Saturday look like the wettest time periods there. So this is going into Saturday night and then into our early Sunday morning, June 8th at 2 a.m., 5 a.m. Sunday, and then right around sunrise, we should start to see some of that rain moving off to the east. I've kept a 20% chance of a shower Sunday because of this lingering stuff as that front starts to move off to the southeast. But we should see a lot of dry time for Sunday. This is around 2 p.m. Sunday, and that's as far out, 84 hours out, that the NAM weather model goes out. So now we switch into the GFS weather model. This is 2 p.m. on our Sunday, and this is at 5 p.m. Sunday. Heavy rains off to our east, maybe a straggling shower. Again, just 20% chance Sunday. And now we're going into the been on a limb segment, going into the later stages of the weather models. So if you're tuning in here, we made it through both of the high resolution weather models for over 48 hours, went 84 hours out with the NAM weather model, the NAM, and now we're switching into the longer range data with the GFS weather model that'll take us into early next week. Barbara Haas, good morning to you. I love your posts, by the way. Cracking open a beer or that wine in golf. Life seems good for Barbara Haas on the comments. Cheers. All right, here we go. Back to the models, back to the GFS weather model. So this is going into June 8th afternoon, Sunday. Sunday nights. We're going to go into our Monday morning. This is 8 a.m. on Monday. 11 a.m. and this is at 2 o'clock Monday. We'll see how this plays out, but you can see that there is at least a chance of some showers. I've got like 40% chance right now Monday for the rain for our June the 9th. So a bit unsettled weather pattern as we finish off this week and head into early next week as well. So now we're going to pop ahead to June 10th. This is June 10th morning. You can see the active weather is off to the east. And hopefully we're looking at drier weather next Tuesday. And I'm hoping this begins a few day dry spell next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we're hoping high pressure moves in. Those fronts settle off to the south. And so that was Tuesday night. We're heading into next Wednesday. Wednesday looks dry here if the GFS weather model is correct. Judy Hoyer, thanks for watching here this morning and tuning in. So the trend here, some rain chances today through Monday, drier next Tuesday through Thursday. Now, let's go ahead and bring up the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook very quickly. Overall threat with this activity is on the low side. Today, the severe weather risk is level 1 out of 5, our lowest risk of severe weather. Well, I guess our lowest risk would be no risk, but this is a very low risk with the greater risk of severe storms, as you can see here, out over Oklahoma, southwestern Kansas, into the panhandle of Texas. So there you go. That's day 1 today. Now we're going to go to day 2 with the Storm Prediction Center. The Storm Prediction Center is a division of the National Weather Service, and their one big job is to look across the United States and see where severe weather might happen. This is day 2. This is your Friday. So we are far southern Indiana, and most of Kentucky is under the yellow. That's level 2 out of 5 of the severe weather risk categories. Super low threat of any tornadoes, but there could be some isolated damaging wind gusts, some locally heavy rainfall, maybe some ponding of water to watch out for as we get this heavy batch to move in late tomorrow afternoon into the evening time, and some lightning and thunder as well. And then once we get north of Madison, north of, say, Salem and Paoli, then you're in this green color. That is level 1 out of 5, the lower risk of severe storms there. The severe weather risk goes from our area, that's level 2 out of 5, again in the yellow, called a slight risk of severe storms. That stretches all the way out through southern Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, North Texas, southeastern Colorado with that stationary front. That there is your Friday severe weather risk. Day 3 severe weather risk. So this is going to be Saturday. And level 1 out of 5 in the severe weather risk categories for our area. Level 2 out of 5 slight risk, and the yellow is for southern Kentucky into Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Arkansas, into, once again, Oklahoma and northeastern Texas. These aren't huge risks of severe weather, but this is when you're going to see some occasional severe thunderstorm warnings in this kind of setup. All right, there we go. That is the risk of severe weather right there. Let's look at a rain total. We're going to bring back up the GFS weather model. We'll look at the total week-long rain total. Then we'll get back to live radar, the forecast, and then we're going to wrap up our Ben at 10, which we normally go on for about 45 minutes. So I need to bring up our future data, and I'm going to go with the GFS weather model, total precipitation. We'll wrap this up, let's say Sunday morning, which is our June 8th. We'll just stop at 2 p.m. So this is the total rainfall now all the way through the weekend. Go full screen. Oops, I need to back up and turn on our little plotter here. All right, so wherever we go, it looks like we're looking at about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. So overall, we'll be able to soak that up pretty good. Now, when we get these waves of heavy rainfall and some of these kind of torrential tropical downpours every once in a while, late tomorrow and late Saturday, this could, give us some, again, ponding of water, some puddles out there. But it is, we're getting into the heart of the growing season, so very lush grass, lush forest, and fields out there, so we will be able to soak up a lot of this without much runoff. So 1 to 2 inches, not crazy. We should be able to deal with that. That is your rainfall total. Let me bring up now our live radar sweep.